These are the ruins of the old Kirk at Aberfoyle in Stirlingshire. It lies slightly detached from the town, lying just to the south. You reach it by crossing the old brig over the River Forth. There was a Kirkton nearby once, and also the old village school. It overlooks the Doon Hill, which lies to the east. The first kirk was recorded here in 1621, and the old bell that's now present at the new parish church has the date 1725 on it. These ruins, though, date from 1744. A new church had been built in 1870, and the roof was taken off to prevent it from being used by the parishioners or anyone else. In 1839, a new Kirk Session House was built. This still survives, detached to the east end of the church, just below the belfry. The old Kirk building has clearly seen a number of changes. There's evidence of changes in the size of the entrance door and so on. On either side of the existing main entrance are two mortsafes. These are exceptionally large and heavy. They look actually like cast iron coffins. The purpose of them was to place on top of a burial to prevent the body snatchers, the resurrectionists, from taking the body. Usually they could be hired out. Occasionally, in some churches, they were left there permanently. Lying close to the session house, on the southern side of the old kirk, is a grave, looking very unusual in that it's covered with coins. This is the grave of the Reverend Robert Kirk. He's famous for having been involved with the translation of the Bible into Gaelic and also the Psalms. But in addition, he's known for his interest in folklore and his writing of a book entitled The Secret Commonwealth, Elves, Fauns and Fairies. The Reverend Kirk was born in Aberfoyle, and he was the seventh son. This has got significance in terms of second sight in folklore. The old manse lies nearby. It lies on the route to Doon Hill, which is said to be a fairies' hill, a place where the fairies live. He was an Episcopalian minister. They were less severe in their attitude towards the fairy folk. He believed them to be halfway between the angels and human beings. His book had been written for the wife of an associate who'd taken an interest in folklore. But it's said that he had regular walks up to the Doon Hill, and that the fairies took revenge on his releasing details of their lives and their existence by capturing him, capturing his soul or capturing his body and keeping it within the Doon Hill. And the body was buried at the kirk. It was either what's called a co-walker. A co-walker could also be seen as a changeling, or either that or it's filled with stones. That's how the story goes. He is said to have appeared as a sort of wraith, and stated that if a dagger was thrown above his head at the christening of his child, he having died whilst his wife was pregnant, then he would be released. But this didn't happen, so his body remains within the Fairy Hill. The coins on the grave are said to be either there, placed there by people who would wish that the fairies would release him, or the coins would be payment for him to be released from the hill and to go to heaven.